All right, well, gentlemen, thank you very much for talking to us today. I know that, Trevor, this is not your first time in Manchester, but I think it is for the rest of you. What's your first impressions apart from it being cold and wet?
Well, I haven't really seen anything. I was in the car from the airport here. I'd like to see Manchester. Well, not this time, but
Is there anything on your list that you particularly want to see?
no.
Manchester United,
I
of
was
course.
saying, I'm sorry, I just dropped my glass. I wish that I had done a little research, or asked, some basic things to know about Manchester. That's all.
So I suppose the pitch for this project wasn't Manchester as a city to you. There were other factors that came into it. What convinced you all to get involved in this project?
Well, what I heard from everybody is that it's a good place to do something. It's an ambitious project, but really the city itself is really up and coming, moving, and doing very well. And so it would be a place to do it. So, and I spoke to Fred Doan. We FaceTimed each other, and these guys said it's good place that we should, and that was it.
What about you, Trevor? What convinced you?
I mean, we met with Fred and Simon, and it was really their vision, and we were very intrigued with what they're doing in Manchester. Everything they're doing, especially Fred, is for the betterment of the city. And I know Manchester because in a way it's hometown to me. I was born not far away, and I've seen the development. I've seen the passion coming from the shareholders and so forth. And I said, look, I think it's the right time now. I mean, we've been looking at Manchester for a number of years, and I think now is a good time.
You say it's the right time. Of course, you first expanded into the UK in 1997 down in London. Why has it taken so long for you to expand to another UK city?
Usually investors approached us to do projects, and Trevor has been talking to people here in Manchester for quite a few years, and until this deal came along, and Trevor was born here, so he knows the area very well. He told us how great it could be here and how Manchester is developing, and it's the right time to come here. So we did.
I suppose you might say one project at a time, but are you open to the idea of opening another Nobu elsewhere in the UK?
Well, you never know. It depends on.
Who knows? I think naturally we're in the. I'm not saying it's the luxury hotel business, but naturally we have to make sure that any destination that we go into, that the locals will embrace the concept and so forth. And I think there is potential in maybe one or two other cities in the UK, but slowly we'll see what happens.
And you can hear the trains going above us. Manchester historically is an industrial city.
Yeah.
You're going to be building on top of in Victorian railway arches. Is the project going to have a distinct Manchester flavour that sets it apart from the two locations in London?
Absolutely, I think, because everything we do is bespoke and brings in the local elements, right, Matt?
But I think that when we actually opened London, Nobu and we went to London, and there was hardly any Japanese food around. There were maybe one traditional Japanese restaurant, and Nobu, when we opened London, changed the scene of especially Japanese food in London, and I think we're going to do the same thing here in Manchester. From what I know, I haven't been here a lot, but from what I know, there are not too many Japanese restaurants here.
Chef Nobu, what's your perception of the culinary scene in Manchester?
Well, I don't know much, but I not worry about Manchester because we have two Nobu restaurants in the city, and we have the teams, and but a little bit far away, no competitions in the city and here. But this is maybe top number 3 city, right? Biggest, London, and
We like to say it's the second biggest.
Yes.
Yeah, we're bigger than Birmingham.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the sore point here.
So that's why I like to. So this series is, I feel, very famous soccer teams. People know the Manchester's name. So now we're here, and I like to do the same way to like Nobu London's, and just looking for make success. And so it means, so we start the business. We're not playing the games, just like try our best. And I come and bring all our chefs and the training, like we did used to as well. The same way we do make the new locations, new Nobu restaurants, and also of course use local product as much as possible, because we have to support local too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Of course, we're here to mark the start of the process, the construction process for Nobu Manchester. You've got 2 in London already. I've asked about whether you're open to launching new sites across the UK, but what about London itself? How are you pleased with how those sites have been performing? It's been difficult, the hospitality industry in recent years. And would you look to expand further in the capital in the future?
Well, so it's like we don't think about much. Always we open the city, we try the best. So it's some people, no, the new recipe that depend the country or depend city, it's different. No, even the Japan, New York, Australia, even Cape Town, all the same recipe. So means that's why a lot of customers traveling all over the world. Then the Nobu has any city, so they stop by. So,
looking back to when you co-founded the company, can you believe that you're here now at this point and having seen this growth?
No.
Did you know to begin with?
Well, I don't see how anybody, when they start something, I started asking Nobu if he'd want to open a restaurant in New York when I went to Matsuhisa in LA, never imagining what it would be. Never, ever. I was just wanting to open a restaurant in New York. I knew it would work so well in New York. And maybe here, because I had been here, and it reminded me of New York, the Japanese restaurants. I had been at just 2, if 3 at the most, and they had the same feel. They were nice, they were good, but they were not what he was doing. So, but New York, definitely. So
we've heard a lot today about Manchester being attractive to invest in as international investors. Is that your perception from outside of the UK?
Not mine. I don't know that, but these guys know.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons when we were intrigued with what Fred was doing is we have restaurants and hotels around the world, and there's a lot of expats that live internationally, naturally, and they are our customers. And we knew that some of the expats who would probably come back from the Middle East or other places are going to be buying a Nobu here, and because they know the brand and so forth. And I think that if the customer feels at home with Nobu, I don't think there is a problem when it comes down to price point in terms of selling the residences. So I think we feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, I think when you ask you about expansion in London, we have 2 restaurants and 1 hotel which are doing very well. Especially the hotel is really doing well. And if we have to think about expansion, maybe we can expand like we're doing in Manchester, is doing residential in London. That is not going to compete with what we have already. So, because you have to think about how much can you push, how much can you get milk out of the cow,
Yeah, that's
as they
it.
say.
And at the moment, for you 3, is it more attractive to invest internationally in places like the UK than maybe in the US because of the current administration?
I don't. At this point, I don't see that part of it being a problem. I don't.
No, I think I think
It's not
There's a lot of
consideration at all.
problems, but that's not one
Yeah.
that would make it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as
I
we
think
know.
because we are now growing in the U.S. and we're opening, for example, the Plaza Athénée, New York, which is going to be a great hotel, and we're also growing the residences in the U.S. and so forth, and there's still a very strong demand for a Nobu in different cities.
Yeah.
So we don't see it being any. I don't think a lot of politics affect Nobu. You know, it's like when we had COVID, we came out of COVID unscathed, really, in the sense of we bounced back very quickly, and there's always customers that want to go to Nobu. You know.
Yeah, for sure. I can't end this interview, Robert, without asking a very cheeky question, if that's okay. If you had to pick a film of yours that was maybe more of a hidden gem, somebody hasn't seen, what would it be? Would you recommend for them to watch?
Well, one that I enjoyed working on was with a British director named Kirk Jones, called Everybody's Fine. It was taken off an Italian movie called Tutto Stanno Bene. But I don't know who saw the movie, but I had a good time with Kirk doing it. And it was more than a good time. It just was a special film for me.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.